it's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
It's hard. I get what, I feel like being a parent, you're indoctrinated into this very exclusive club and there's a camaraderie, I think, with other people who have been through it. I just didn't think, and I've heard that it's been hard, but I just was so blown away at how difficult it actually is. It's really
Yes.
hard.
Now we finally know.
We're in the club.
Yeah, and especially
Um, Thank you so much, Ruud, for taking the time to be here. I know this has been a long time coming, and you were traveling quite extensively, right? You just,
I just came back
yeah,
again. Yeah,
my
and
gosh.
next trips are on the verge of being planned at the moment. I'm working on going to do a harvest season in the Douro region. So
That's
very much looking
incredible.
forward to that. Actually, yeah,
Can I
it's
come?
like a
That sounds
romantic
nice.
idea. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard work for sure, and I'm up to that. But yeah, I really want to know what's happening. From 0 to 10, from A to Z, what's going on, how it actually feels like to work the lands during the harvest season, and to pick up all the little details on yeah, actually the job and um, see, looking over the shoulder of the winemaker to understand the quality of the wines that are being produced in the whole process. I'm really looking forward to experience that with my own hands.
I love it. Well, your passion for port, it's very difficult to find people who are deeply passionate about port wine, I've learned. This project has taken me around the world virtually. So, Amsterdam is where you're currently located, correct? Or
Close by. Yeah,
close by?
the Netherlands is very small. I'm actually
Yeah.
living in a city now. It's called Deventer.
Okay.
It's very very beautiful. Amsterdam, of course, is beautiful as well. But there are like 1 million tourists, and here it's like maybe 5 or 10,000 tourists. So it's a bit more manageable, I would say.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive in. This has been a long time coming. I'm so excited to speak with you and learn so much about your port wine platform, your passion for port, and we both share a similar background in digital marketing. So
Yeah,
that's
actually, we
exciting.
do.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so let's
Yeah.
get into it. My favorite question, always the icebreaker. If you could invite one person, living or dead, to a dinner party, who would it be?
Yeah, so I've listened to your other podcasts, guests, and I would definitely this time go for somebody who is still alive
Okay.
and who I find actually also chances of actually meeting him in personal is it's actually quite plausible because the guy is Dutch and he is one of the only port wine and sherry wine experts in the Netherlands. His name is Jeroen Bronkhorst. Um, I think he's retired, kind of like now, in the sense that he doesn't work in kitchens and gastronomy anymore. But I know that he was working in this field, so I'm pretty sure that having dinner with him is a pretty amazing experience. First of all, his knowledge about the port wine is phenomenal. Um, and of course his gastronomical knowledge is even maybe even better, so it would be an amazing guest to have dinner with, I would say.
So tell me about your very entrepreneurial journey. And this is you launched a new port wine platform, which is kind of how we connected actually.
Yeah.
We connected over, I think, Instagram with this or maybe over email. But either way, I have yet to see a platform dedicated entirely to port wine. So tell us more about what this platform is and kind of how it's merged your passion for wine with your experience in digital marketing.
Yeah, sure. So the thing is with having had a lot of e-commerce experience in the past 17 years, I understood that it's very difficult to build a web shop based purely on port wines because it's such a small niche, right? I did a good job, I think, in 2013 when we started the first web shop. We got some good traction. We were at that point the only specialized web shop in port wines in the Netherlands and Belgium. Um, but after selling my shares in that company, yeah, I still had the feeling that I wanted to do something in the port wine industry because, first of all, yes, my love for the wines is amazing. It goes very deep, and secondly, I want to do something for that market. I want to be an ambassador. I want to be able to share that passion that I have and find a new audience that actually can share that passion with me and with many others. Um, so I kind of like started to think about, okay, how can I reach a wide audience of possible wine lovers that could be interested in port wines, is to create just an informative platform based solely on the brands that are currently out there and have been out there for many years before. So that's why I created portwine.com, purely an informative website where everybody can do their own research on the brands that they would love, they would like to try, that they would like to get in contact with. So I summed up most part of their history, their flavors, their characteristics, their vintage years, the Collietta years, like a really extensive place where you can find most information about the brand that you're looking for. And yeah, there is no competition there or something. It's just out there. You can use it for free, of course, and that's the sole purpose currently for the port wine platform. On top
Wonderful.
of
So,
that,
yep.
yeah, and on top of that, I'm trying to find ways of helping people to find their way to the Douro. So at some point, there will be integrated. You can book tours, and even thinking about possibly opening up a store where you can find very exclusive wines just for the U.S. market. So you're not buying in bulk or something like this, but you really find specialties. So specialties that are valued from $100 and up. The suppliers then can use my platform to promote their wines, and the customers that really have this deep love for the port wines, they are able then to order it through my platform. That's a second goal, but for now, I just want to leave it at helping the audience, yeah, getting to know the brands. And there are, I'm currently hosting around 150 brands at this platform, but I also still have 100 to go. So I think it will, in the end, maybe be 250 to up to 300 brands in total that will be listed in this directory, and that would kind of like sum up all of the brands that have been created or are currently still active in the Douro.
You said something really interesting right when we were first talking in our initial discussion a few months ago about port wine in the Netherlands and how it's consumed. And you had mentioned it's primarily consumed among women and specifically housewives. And I thought that's so interesting because that is totally the antithesis of how it's perceived in America. It's more older men and like mahogany libraries, you know, alongside scotch or something, and it's a very different perception.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about this and verify for me that it is consumed among women.
Yeah, so what we saw in our own web shop in 2013 up to 2016, I'm pretty sure the numbers are still the same, that it is actually in the Netherlands also mainly men buying the product. Now, um, the problem is the image that was perceived by many, and this is probably before I was born or during the time that I was born, but because of this time in the Netherlands and also in other places in Europe, um, the housewives, they were able to buy these kind of sherry wines, fortified wines, and port wines, and therefore it got this, yeah, a little bit of unsexy image where the drink was only produced for this kind of target group. It is completely untrue. um, but somehow that's stuck, and it's still, up until today, stuck in the minds of most people that hear about port wine, because it's something that goes on and on, lives on and on in generation after generation. Because our parents, they say like, port wine, sherry wine, yeah, that's for older housewives. And then I heard that story, and I would share that with my friends. Yeah, sherry, port wine, it's for older housewives. We hear that when we're 20 years old. And probably most people that would raise their children now would tell their children the same. So it's like a myth that's that keeps on getting air and breathes on and on and on, but it's completely not true. I've got the numbers. It's very strong product for the male audience, because they tend to spend more on older wines in general, also with red wines. um, why that is, it's heavy. It's heavy product, right. If you drink a single harvest or an old colheita or an old vintage, they are strong wines. They have a lot of body. They have a lot of in-depth character. They have a lot of alcohol, of course. Women tend to prefer lighter wines or sweeter wines. Well, sweet wines in Portugal, that's not a problem in the Douro port wines. Um, but it's still very heavy. Has a high amount of sugars. Um, Women tend to, of course, look at the intake better than men. So in general, it's more a male-oriented product. So what you found in the US, it's the same here in Europe. The only thing that's really different is the image, and that's also where in the Netherlands the port wine had a lot of problems getting this image gone. That it's not just for housewives. No, it's for everybody. You can actually, in a legal drinking age in the Netherlands is 18 years old. Um, it's a drink for everybody to enjoy, but because it's so strong and so complex, yeah, it takes a bit of development of your tasting palates to kind of like start to like this kind of product, right? Um, and Yeah, I hope that answers your question about what does that image do to the brand in general, because I think the brand suffers from this in general, right? The product suffers from this. Yeah.
Absolutely. And also how people consume the product, right? I mean, stateside port is still, for those who know about it, and certainly for those who drink it, it's more of an after dinner dessert type wine. Is
Mhm.
that similar in the Netherlands, or are folks drinking it more in different situations?
No, it's very focused on Christmas.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a drink what's accustomed to have when you are in the colder times of the year, right? So that's around October up until January, February, and especially during the holidays, it peaks. We always saw sales go 5 to 10 times fold the normal sales during this time, not only because it's celebration time to give gifts, but it's really because of the dinner, the Christmas dinner. It's so traditionally that you take a glass of port wine. Either it's an aperitif, or it's during a dessert, or it's during after dinner, like when you just want to have a nice talk with your family and friends. That's the moment the highest amount of port wines are being consumed at that time. Unfortunately, most people still buy cheaper consumer supermarket port wines, which is yeah, a bit of a shame, because there are so many nice wines out there, of course. And I would definitely invite everybody to spend a little bit of more effort in doing research about what is out there for the wines, for them to see how much difference there is between a bottle of, let's say, $10 and a bottle of 25 or $30. It's like it's a huge difference. And I think that peak during the time of Christmas is yeah, is something there to stay. It's very difficult to change that. It's such a habit. It's something that has been there for 30, 40 years, and very difficult to change that kind of drinking habit. What I'm trying to do, though, sorry, is that I'm trying to find ways of promoting the product like they do in Portugal as well. they are already starting to mix the white port wines, for example, with tonic,
Mhm.
and it's such a refreshing drink during the summer. So the pink port has the same ability. It's a perfect drink, or to drink pure cold, or to mix with a really nice other beverage. So I think there lies some big opportunities as well for the port wine market to get our a little bit youthful public